Have you ever wondered why, just when you start praying harder, believing stronger, and walking closer with God, suddenly everyone disappears? Friends fade, opportunities dry up. You feel unseen, unheard, forgotten. But what if that silence wasn't a punishment, but a preparation? This is the Bible series online, and today we're uncovering why God lets you feel alone before He elevates you. Every great move of God begins with isolation. Think about it. Moses was hidden in the desert for 40 years before leading Israel. David was anointed, yet left alone with sheep before he ever faced Goliath. Even Jesus, before his ministry, was led by the Spirit into the wilderness. God's pattern hasn't changed. Before elevation, there's separation. Before promotion, there's preparation. Why? Because isolation reveals your dependency, not on people, but on Him. When you're surrounded by noise, you can't hear His voice clearly. But when you're alone, truly alone, the volume of the world goes down and the voice of God gets louder. He's removing the distractions so you can focus on the direction He has for you. It's not about subtraction, it's about addition, adding more of His presence into your life. In that quiet space, He can finally speak to the depths of your heart without competition. The wilderness is not punishment. It's a classroom. It's where you learn obedience, humility, and faith. It's where God teaches you who He is, not as a theory, but as your provider, your peace, your defender. In the wilderness, God strips away everything you leaned on, so you finally learn to lean on Him. Deuteronomy 8:2 says, "And you shall remember that the Lord your God led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble you and test you, to know what was in your heart." When God isolates you, He's not rejecting you, He's inspecting you. He's testing your heart before He trusts your hands with destiny. He wants to see if your faith is genuine, if your motives are pure. He's looking for a heart that will give Him the glory when the elevation comes. This period is a divine audit of your soul, preparing you for the weight of the blessing that is to come. Let's be honest. Loneliness hurts. It makes you question your worth, your calling, your direction. You pray and hear nothing. You reach out and get silence. But pain isn't proof that God is absent. Sometimes it's proof that He's doing deep work inside you. Just like a seed, when it's buried in darkness, it feels like death. But in reality, it's the beginning of new life. That's how God works with you. You're buried before you're born again into your next level. Hidden before you're revealed. Broken before you're blessed. This season of feeling forgotten is often the very season where God is remembering you the most, crafting you in secret for a public purpose. The tears you cry in the wilderness water the seeds of the promises He's planted in you. Your pain is not pointless. It has a profound purpose in His plan. In your isolation, God is building spiritual muscle. He's teaching you to pray when no one claps for you. He's teaching you to believe when nothing makes sense. He is shaping your character because what He is preparing for you requires maturity to sustain it. You can't be elevated until you've learned how to stand alone. God won't place you on a platform your character can't carry. So He isolates you, not to break you, but to build you. Joseph had a dream, but before the palace he faced the pit and the prison. Each season looked like loss, but it was actually training. What feels like abandonment is often divine alignment. Every trial, every moment of solitude is forging a strength in you that you didn't know you needed. He's building a foundation strong enough to hold the blessing He's about to release. Then one day, without warning, things start to shift. Doors open that no man can close. People reappear. But you're no longer the same. You've grown. You've healed. You've learned how to move with God, not the crowd. When you come out of isolation, you don't crave attention. You carry anointing, because now your strength doesn't come from being seen, it comes from being chosen. Your validation is no longer external, it's internal, rooted in your relationship with Him. The wilderness has served its purpose, and you emerge not just with a testimony, but with a new level of authority and grace. If you're in a season of silence, if you feel like God has forgotten you, remember this. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. You're not being left behind, you're being set apart. God is building something in the quiet that will speak loudly in your next chapter. Hold on, stay faithful. And when it's time, the same God who hid you will reveal you. Thank you for joining the Bible series online. If this message blessed you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that strengthens your faith. We'll see you next time.